Today's video is going to show you how I make most of the masks that I sell to the public. There is a difference in the pattern for that I do for the hospitals, nursing care places, veterinarians, simply because they ask for different patterns, and there are two that I use for those patterns. They're both fairly easy to do, but the openings are a little different, ties are a little different, so I didn't show that video. I just showed you some that I make for the public, and it's a pattern I enjoy because it allows you to change the elastic that goes around your ears, or you can change it for ties that can go around your neck and tie up over your head. There are a lot of ways that you can change that up, that pattern for personal use. You can replace the elastic when it gets worn, or if it's too stiff or too uncomfortable, you can change it out for pantyhose. You take a pantyhose and you cut it into rings, anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inches, and then you just stretch it real nice and big. You cut it in half, you feed it through those channels, and then you can do a fisherman's knot on, double fisherman's knot, one on one side, one on the other, that makes it adjustable. The other thing that I do is I put it through a pony bead, tie knots in each end, and then that allows you to slide that bead down to make the ears adjustable too. Some of the earlier masks that I was making was just a plain elastic that was sewn into a ring placed in the channel. I have since changed that because it's a lot easier for me to just make a knot, feed it through the pony bead and make a knot, or just do an overhand knot and then slide it through the channel instead of sewing, because those of you, if you've ever sewn elastic into a ring, it's a pain in the butt. You have to hold it just right. You have to get it through there. It doesn't want to feed because it's not really wide enough, those kind of things. So the overhand knot is the easiest, and it's one that when you slide that around, you can actually adjust that. Or if I use the pony bead, you can use the pony bead. And you can do the same thing with the t-shirt ties as well, or the t-shirt yarn, that I have a lot of, so I do that. But those are different masks. They're made, it's just a difference in the way that the mask is made. And perhaps next week on the normal podcast, I'll show you one of those, or one of each of the masks that a lot of the hospitals and nursing homes are requesting. So, yeah. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Those weekly tests are a pain in the butt. And I forgot that I have my phone sitting here open. And it came across on the phone as well. Anyway, maybe I'll show a couple of those masks next week on the podcast so you can see the difference in the mask. And, you might want to request one of those masks. I don't know. But the portion that I don't show you in the video is this. And it is what I do before I start sewing any of the masks. Just because I didn't think that people would be interested in it. But my husband said, you need to let people know how you're actually doing that. And yeah, I really think I should. Now, what I normally do is I will take and wash my hands very well before I start sewing. When I had Lysol wipes, I would take Lysol wipes, wipe down my cutting surface, the base of my iron, although The iron really doesn't need it because when it's on, it's hot enough it'll kill the germs. Wipe down the base of where I'm ironing at to allow it to dry. Wipe down the bed of my machine. All those things that I might be having the fabric come in contact with. And then I would go wash my hands again before I start sewing. Now, here's the thing that's different because, I no longer have Lysol wipes, can't get them, can't get Clorox wipes. So, I have made my own disinfectant. It's fairly easy. It's like a couple teaspoons of Clorox or ammonia, not both, and not together. That creates a obnoxious gas that can actually kill you. So I use one of the other two, or for the Lysol, you don't normally use bleach. You use a water, a little bit of dish soap, and some different types of essential oils, not only that are pleasing to your nose, but they also have properties, antibacterial, germ-killing properties, and as well as rubbing alcohol that is 91% or 95%. And yes, I have purchased quite a bit of that. That is rubbing alcohol that I've used when we did the dyeing of the silk scarves, the t-shirts, those kind of things. And I have quite a bit of that left over. I had, I'd purchased about 10, 12 bottles. At the time, they were like 80 cents a piece. So I got quite a few bottles of it, and we only wound up using 2 for our projects. But so I've got some rubbing alcohol at this point, because now you can't even get that in the Walmart stores. And the rubbing alcohol that is sold in the dollar store is not a high enough percentage to use as a disinfectant. So I don't even bother with that for that. I'll use that when I'm making something for just cleaning. Because if you don't know, I have used alcohol in a spray bottle, of course the cheapest one, for a long time to clean the stove surface, the refrigerator countertops. It does do a little bit of disinfecting. Not only that, but it makes your stove real nice and shiny, cuts through the grease like nothing. And yeah, cleans pretty well. But that's a different story in itself. So I didn't include that portion of it, and I didn't include the time of me sitting at the laundromat washing and drying. So that's the only difference. And the difference is in the patterns that I use for the different places. But I hope you enjoy this video, and so you can see what it takes to go into making a mask. The ones that I make for the hospital, as I finish the final pressing for those masks, I put them in paper bags so that they can then be sealed in food saver bags to be shipped off to those places. For those of you that purchase them, generally what I do is I put them finished mask in a paper bag, and then as you purchase them, I will do another press of them, put them into a plastic bag that I close with a little sticker, and with all the information on how to care for those. So that's the difference, but enjoy the video. A lot of people don't think there's a lot to making the mask. They think it's a real simple thing. It's a little bit more intensive. So yeah, bye. So there's the video on what it goes into making a mask. The only thing I did forget besides the sanitizing of everything, and I mean everything, rotary blades, scissors, you wipe it all down, is the in-betweens. You get up to go to the bathroom, you wash your hands, you re-sanitize everything, and then wash your hands again before you start sewing. So, yeah, it's a lot there, and I'm going to say it's been very self-gratifying to be making the mask, because I know that it is helping other people's in a way that is just necessary right now. I have told family and friends I think we're in it for the long haul. I have been using a little bit of my education of working from when I was working in infectious disease. But I thought I would tell you also before I end it, because I talked about the sanitizer issues that I had used, is some of the things that I've used to make. You know, like I said, I've cleaned with just pure alcohol, put in a spray bottle. 91%, it kills a lot of the germs. That's basically what takes care of a lot of it. Leaves great shine for all the appliances. But for those of you that are asking, Clorox wipes are real easy. You're going to use 1 cup of water. I would use distilled or boiled water. 2 teaspoons of bleach, 2 teaspoons of dish soap, and then a couple of drops of essential oils if you want a scent. I don't normally use those because Clorox is still pretty hard on the hands. The one that I prefer is more like a Lysol spray, and you just use 1 cup of water, distilled preferably, or boiled, and you're going to replace the bleach with 6 tablespoons of alcohol. Now, I do actually use a little less water, a little more alcohol. And I use 91% to 95%. And then you can add in the essential drops and just that 2 teaspoons of dish soap. Mix it up. You're good to go. You know, there's a lot of ways to make a lot of things nowadays. And some of the easiest things, like I said, for those Lysol wipes, is sometimes I see a lot of people will also add white vinegar to it. White vinegar has a lot of good cleaning aspects to it as well. And of course, I'd probably use more essential oil if I put vinegar in it. But you know, we're also having a hard time finding hand sanitizers. You know, the gel that you use to have in your purse or your pocket, whatever. One of the simplest formulas that I know for hand sanitizers is to use 2/3 cup of an alcohol. They say 60%, but I would actually go higher if you can find it. Like I said, I've been lucky. I already had some, so we've already made some because we couldn't find any left over. And you know, it's like 2/3 cup alcohol, 1/3 cup aloe vera gel, and some essential oil drops. Mix it all together, put in some spray bottles or squirt bottle. I would do spray bottles. I have a little container that I have in my purse that I spray, and that's what I refill it with. And yeah, that's about it for that. The only other thing is I pulled out my little recipes here for some other things, and one of the easier ones that I have done for hand sanitizing wipes, and this one is fairly easy, is to actually put 3/4 of a cup of 91% alcohol. You know, you can do a little less. Wouldn't do less than 70 because your percentages start going down after that. There's a percentage wise that all these other things would decrease your alcohol content. 1 tablespoon of aloe vera gel, 1/2 teaspoon of coconut oil. You know, mix it well, and then you can add your essential drops, and you can pour it over paper towels to make your own hand wipes to take with you, you know, to wipe the handles, to open the door with the handles, to wiping down the keypad on the machines, or pulling them out and wiping your hands afterwards. Those are some hand sanitizing wipes. So those are some of the recipes that I've used before that help with that. So I hope you enjoyed that video. And again, we got to remember, and it's getting harder, especially now that our governor has extended our stay at home to May the 8th. So everybody, hang in there. We are going to get through this. Sending you all a virtual hug, and let's practice kindness.